By the way, I like your Remu Remu figurine.
Yeah, as of now, we can see the screen now, and very nice. I don't know this Rem figurine. That's a new one.
It's like
I think,
a modern school outfit.
yeah, right?
Very nice. Yeah.
Very nice. I like the color scheme.
Wait, no,
All right
that's the
then.
wait, that's the wrong video.
Oops.
That's my friend. That's my IR friend.
Wait, it's not this video. Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my real life friend.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, can you
that's fine.
can you quickly post the correct link?
Okay, let me search that real quick. Alright, hold on, my computer's a bit lag.
Oops, sorry.
where is
Looks
that?
like I've mistook the link. I'm sorry.
It's alright.
But you submitted Grand Escape, right?
Yep, it's
Okay,
the same
okay.
song. Thinking
I
about
see. It's the same song. I see. Okay.
yeah, it's
No
the same
wonder. I
song.
was like,
That's fine.
okay. I was like, hey, it should be Tenki no Ko. I'm absolutely sure it was Tenki no Ko. Okay. All right.
I posted it in the Andy. Do you see the link I posted in the general chat? Ah, there it is.
Oh yeah.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, very nice. Okay. So please, Andy, just click on play. Here we go. The bass.
Yep.
Big hands too.
Yeah, quite big hands,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Especially you are a member of the 10th gang. This song is kind of unique because the chorus actually only appearing at the end, and the whole song is basically 80% verse, and only the chorus appears at the very, very, very end.
Yeah, the chorus is at the.
But you added it at the beginning of the piece, right? The intro part.
Yeah.
The chorus melody. Very nice choice. I would do the same.
Oh, thanks, man.
No. Yes, gaining some speed. You're a huge fan.
Massive
Massive.
fan.
Jesus. Oh, a trill.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Very nice. A huge applause. Very
Okay.
nice.
Thank you, guys.
I really like how you deliberately separated the parts where you needed, those energy, basically all the bass notes, and where you are very delicate in the high range. What do you think, Ishtar? I really like it. It's a very, very good balance.
I like it as well, and I think the upright is quite dynamically very narrow. If maybe if you played on like a grand piano, we could hear more of that dynamics.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, but I think we can tell it's like pretty delicate as well up top.
The thing I like the most is you actually also change a little bit the original structure of the music by simply putting the chorus at the front. This is something
Yeah.
I would totally do. So well done, man. This is fan service for me. If someone is
Yeah.
making a slight modifications to the music structure to further enhance it.
Sorry, what's your hand span on the left hand? From B
I can from B to E. Next.
to so 11.
B to wait, what?
Yeah.
Like this? Oof, I can barely
Yeah.
reach it. Barely. But okay.
Yeah. It's.
By the
pretty
way,
good.
are you by any chance from Singapore? Because I saw Christophorian.
yeah.
And that's a typical
Oh, yeah.
Singaporean.
Yeah. I'm from Singapore.
Okay. Ha, busted. Okay. So, the thing you can might improve might be actually probably a still bit more the speed control, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Especially-
I could tell my tempo was a bit off at the chorus somewhere.
I mean, it's easy to
was it-
get into, those moriagaru. What's moriagaru in English again? Excitement. Yeah, if you're getting excited, and then you naturally speed up. It's completely common. I used to do this a lot
Yeah.
in my live concerts as well. How to combat this? Here's a pro tip for everyone here who's recording. Usually, you're absolutely not aware when you're speeding up while recording, but after you hear your own take, you might try to pinpoint. Oh, I see, I'm rushing here. Oh, I see, I'm taking too much time here. And basically, a self-review after a seemingly perfect take is always very helpful to make even a better take. That's actually what I do usually. I make a take and realize, I'm rushing here. This scale is kind of uneven, feels uneven. So I try to pay attention to this part again after a little bit of practice, and then record again. And that's how you avoid, those unintentional speeding ups.
Yeah.
What about you, Ishtar?
I think what I did notice was I'm not sure if it's the piano or your performance, but the pedaling is a little bit messy.
Yeah.
I think I've realized this also back then, especially I think when I was also talking with Animenz, he pointed out how that professional pianists are always so specific with their pedaling. That's what differentiates like amateur and professional, is that the control over the sound and the cleanliness with the pedaling. Because when I began, it's like I played on a digital piano, so I had no concept of half pedaling or the physics of the pedal moving up and down the strings, right?
Yeah.
But when I started practicing on acoustic piano, then I realized, there's such range on the pedal that you can really be very specific with the sound and to create a clean sound without being too dry or vice versa. So that's what I've noticed. And yeah, just pedaling.
If I may add a little bit to pedaling. Want to continue, Esther? Sorry for cutting you in.
Oh no,
If you're done.
yeah, you're
Okay.
you can.
Yeah, I can basically support what Ishtar said, because I've been paying attention to some master pianists back then when I was watching piano recitals, titles, and the pedaling is literally, pedaling is, it usually consists of on or off, 1 or 0, right? But master pianists, they literally are doing waves with their pedal, so they never press it down completely. They slightly make quarter pedal, 3/4 pedal, half pedal, they're all possible, or even 1/8 pedal is possible, and it does make a difference, but only, of course, on a grand piano, I guess. I don't think it makes a difference on a upright piano. Well, of course, we're going here super high territory here, so it's just, we just kind of want to say these kind of stuff exists actually. Quarter, eighth pedaling, and those wavy pedaling, they actually exist. But honestly, the only thing I use in my arrangement is half pedal, I guess. I don't bother with quarter pedal because pop song is more straightforward than classical songs. You don't have to make those nuances. You don't have to, make the complicated texture work, because it's pop music after all, what I'm covering. So normal pedaling, 1 to 0 pedaling is more than enough in my opinion.
Yeah, and actually, I've noticed some of the pedaling with Animenz videos as well. Like for me, I'm not sure what video was it, but it was single notes. But I used the pedal only to connect the notes, and that's it. It to prevent that space between the notes at the beginning or at the intro. Also, Animenz, I realized also, he holds one note and then slowly comes up on the pedal to create that gradual cutting off of the rest of the notes to reveal just one note. So stuff like that is pretty, like, different types of usage for the pedaling. So it depends. Obviously your performance is on an upright, so it's hard to tell, right? So we're just going with the video, but it might give you some ideas maybe in future videos, or when you do play on a grand piano, you might experiment with some of the pedaling.
Definitely try it out once you have the chance to play on grand piano. Absolutely. Try to seek for half pedal, quarter pedal. It actually does make a difference. I mean, I can shortly demonstrate it to you. Let's see. Okay, so I just slowly retracted my pedaling, and you can still hear it's like a natural decrescendo on the piano. And that's just a pure pedal alone. I left my hands already after I played the initial chord. They're all gone, and then this effect is only achieved by pedaling alone. So once I have a chance to play in grand piano, test it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any specific questions? Because your arrangement itself is really good. The entire structure, the build-up, and the tension release and tension build-up, it's really good already. So, if you have specific questions.
Okay, so wait. Let me reference to my application. Which okay, so how do I balance like the arrangement properly? Like not like not such that sometimes the left hand or right hand doesn't overcome the other the opposing hand or something like that.
You mean how to make the main melody stand out?
Yeah, something like that.
So dynamic difference at the end of the day.
You mean like the way you arrange it so that like the melody will bring out and not be cluttered by other techniques? Is that the questions?
Something like that.
Basically avoiding cluttering, right? Yeah, that's indeed, that's actually quite a difficult question. The thing is, whenever I am, for example, ornaments, whenever I add ornaments, I try to separate the main melody from the ornamental a little bit, at least one octave distance. For example, okay, let me try to. So if I want to add ornaments, I'm definitely going to do it here because it's too close. If I So maybe here, a little bit farther away. So that's one method to if you try the three-hand technique, try to separate a little bit the ornaments between a main melody, and especially let's see, the deeper you go, the harder it is to discern actually what is happening. I mean, if you add some additional melody in this range, it's going to be very hard to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So, but if you're in a higher range, yeah, it is possible to stick them very close together. So that's a pro tip. Remember, the deeper you go, the more cluttered it becomes. So if you want to add additional ornaments, try to separate them a little bit, especially in the deeper regions. That's my advice if you want to let the main melody stand out. How about you, Ishta?
Okay, I have had this big problem with my left hand being too loud.
Yeah.
because that's one of the drawbacks of studying by myself is that there's no I need to realize my mistakes. No one's correcting me usually, unlike if you have a teacher. So one of my problems is that the left hand is too loud, but throughout the years I've learned how to kind of balance the melody to be slightly louder than as of how I guess it's just I guess for me it's just awareness, like how does it go? So to have the melody slightly higher up in volume than the rest of the notes, it's maybe it's not fair for me to compare myself to Rachmaninoff, but I listen to a lot of Rachmaninoff with lots of notes, right? And I see a lot of master classes where students play the notes and the melody there's no layers. So I guess if you want to think about it that way, it's like the melody is on a layer above the harmony, or something like that. I don't know if is that what you're asking, or
Some it can help me in the future when it should be able to help me in the future when I try out the arrangement. So yeah, it pretty much does answer.
okay. I hope it does, because sometimes I like misunderstand the passion
Same
or
here.
something. Yeah.
Ishta, I feel like we kind of failed him. he's literally like dot.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah,
man.
head scratch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's okay.
we apologize.
that's okay. I can tend to phrase my questions a bit weirdly sometimes, so it could be also a bit on my part. But
Actually, do you mean the separating the voices when practicing like our sheets, or do you mean like separating the voices when you're doing your own arrangement?
own arrangements.
Oh, okay. Because I admit sometimes I make those ornaments and the main melody very, very close, almost dangerously close. So maybe that's a reason. There's one more thing. Let's see. Okay, how to diversify a little bit more the. Well, I think we said pretty much the most important parts. First of all, separate them a little bit if possible, and the lower you go, the more distance it needs, the main melody and everything else to stand out. Because for some reason, human ears cannot discern correctly what's going on. Everything below this line, everything lower, it's become a complete mess.
Yeah.
But everything above it is absolutely bliss. So yeah, that's how human ears work for some reason. And if you pay attention to this, you're definitely going to separate the melody and the ornaments.
Okay,
Uh,
so thank you for. Okay. Infern, do you have anything else to say?
I
Feel free, feel
think.
free.
Wait, are questions or just something or just anything?
You
Questions?
still have 3 minutes, around 3 minutes, so you can
Okay.
ask any question
Let
you would
me.
like.
Mm, okay, so well, one last question would be like, how can I improvise well, like on the spot, if like I only know like the basic structure of the melody and like the basic melody and the bass notes. How do I manage? How do I improvise well, like just on the spot? If or is it or is that
Mm,
too difficult?
well, okay. I just say how I would do. I usually try to um, emulate the rhythm of the basic mood of a piece. Let's say, which is a good piece. I mean, for example, for Last Stardust, if I improvise Last Stardust, I would definitely keep the dum 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 dum. So
Uh, uh,
So the chord, I think keeping the rhythm is actually the most important aspect. I mean, if you look at Marasi, all he's doing is literally just
yeah,
playing with the rhythm, and it works every time because
yeah.
his control of rhythm is literally godlike level, and that's actually more than enough to carry the entire song. So I would pay more attention instead of putting too many arpeggios. I would first of all decide a stable rhythm and go with it first.
So
That's my approach.
so something like imitating the drum beats.
Yeah, imitate drum beat, or you came up with your own rhythm, perhaps.
Uh,
I mean, there are pieces with very complicated uh, rhythms, so you don't need to imitate one to one. Just come with something with a similar groove, I guess.
okay.
How about you, Ishter?
Sorry. Oh, my advice.
How would you improvise?
Well, if I guess if well, I know the melody and harmony already, so I'd say visualizing how to play the melody on the piano. I think visual learning like that in your head helps a lot in actually being able to play it much better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that really seems to help. I think I might have tried doing that a couple times and it does help a lot. Yeah.
yeah, visual learning is super powerful. So yeah, that's it for my advice. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so
Alright.
much for Animenz and
Alright.
Isher, and thank you, Infern, so much
Alright.
for your submission. Okay,
Alright.
Yes, it's really nice
for the
Thanks.
arrangement. Absolutely take
Yeah.
it.
Thank you
uh,
for the help and the feedback. I really really appreciate it.
No problem.
No problem,
Yeah.
man.
okay, awesome. Okay,
Alright.
for the next
Alright. See you guys
venture,
around.
we
See
will
you
have
then.
Smuvie.
See you.
See ya.
Okay, Smuvie, it's your turn.
Yeah, hello. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Nice. So what are you playing? What's the video you submitted?
Name of
So
love.
it's Name of Love from Attack on Titan.
Oh, I see.
All right, so we head to Andy's stream first. Wait, I'm in a stream already. Okay, but our team is actually a black window. Mm, can you see anything in Andy's stream?
It's black for me.
Oh, wait, okay,
Yeah.
we can hear the sound. For me, it's done more nothing, to be honest. Okay, let's enjoy it then.
Okay.
Oh, wait, what? Okay, Andy, please restart the stream again. I mean, I personally don't mind if it's just the sound because I can tell what's going on mostly. But yeah, for the observer's sake, I think a video is even better. So it's back. Very nice.
Nice. Okay.
Aye, aye. No, second verse. Difference is now the voice is at the higher register, and the left hand is calmed down. Very nice contrast to the first version, where the left hand was played the melody. Oh yeah, like this. Man, I dig this. For me, everything with multiple voicing is pure fan service. No, the left has changed to more patterns. Very interesting. The bridge. The bass. Here we go. Ooh. Oh, yeah! Sugoi! That's fantastic use of the left and pick list. Man, I feel like covering this song, man. I love how the final chorus melody is kind of different. It just climbs up. Da, 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 da. Ooh, nice rhythm. Wow.
Yeah, so that's my
Pats.
Nice.
Umai. Sugoku umai. So my first impression, well, this time you start with first impression, Ishter.
I really like it. I don't think I have much advice because it's a good performance.
Yeah, right? Damn. Again.
It's pretty exciting. After the bridge, when you left space on the left hand, it's like it's just quiet and it's just a melody. It's pretty powerful. And then the glissando, it's pretty awesome.
The rhythm was really one of the coolest parts. It fits perfectly in this song.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, okay. So yeah, me and Ishter, we think it's an absolutely fantastic arrangement. I really dig those. Any kind of ostinato or repeating pattern is completely fantastic to me, and you put it in the correct timings as well. That's very important. So for arranging pieces, I mean, if you have multiple voices floating in your head, it's great because you can work with it and make a polyphonical structure. But the important thing is when to use them. If you use them too early, it might get too boring. If you use it too late, people might not be prepared for it. What's this pattern? I've never heard it. And then it kind of disappears. So it's kind of tricky to decide the timing of these patterns. But you did actually quite well. The beginning part, and then the second verse first starts with normal melody with that right hand, and then the pattern is being introduced again with it. If there's one thing I might have changed, maybe always try to avoid a song sound too repetitive. And I think for the last part, especially in the last third of the song, since it's constantly the same chorus repeated, I think 2 times, right? It's been repeated 2 times. I might, if I would have arranged it, I might have kind of reduced the sound again. So make it make more less movement, and then just to going back in the crescendo again. Instead of remaining in 40 whole time, which is nice, but that's how I would kind of tackle the how to avoid sound repetitive issue by working with the so-called texture of the music.
Right.
What is text? Texture is yeah, Ishtar?
No, I was just agreeing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Texture means it contains everything from arpeggios, like a heavy texture would be. That's a super thick texture, a lot of arpeggios, low range, and very, very 40. And less texture would be or even more minimalized. Of course, while playing the melody, I'm just basically demonstrating the accompaniment. So that's how I would add to make a little bit more difference to avoid repetition. That's my 2 cents. But the rest is fantastic, really. Especially this part is, man, I dig it. Okay, is there any feedback or any questions from regarding the video?
Yeah. So yeah, I agree with your suggestion. It's basically contrasting not just in dynamics but also in the texture. Yeah. So but for me, I think if I was to pick an advice, it would be I know you're playing on a digital piano, so this might sound okay, but when you hit was it D major? You hit every D, F sharp, A, and D. So it's for a digital piano. This might sound okay, but when you play, especially on your digital piano, I've played on that specific piano. It sounds nice, but if I've also learned this that if you transition to an actual piano, a chord this low is unless you're like playing some classical arrangement that specifically wants it to be messy. Usually with pop songs, it's too deep. So anything, I mean, D major chord here is still okay. Maybe I would omit the F sharp, but at this this distance, I think it's too messy to do full chords like here. If you just keep it like an octave, usually at that bass level, that would be my suggestion. Yeah.
Or you join the 10th club, basically. Do a 10th based on this. Oh, by the way, just a quick short trivia. Why I'm using 10? It's not to bully people who can't play 10. It's literally you literally get the best the best price for effort. Basically, if you need a good nice chord, let's say D major, say a D major, and you want a bass at the same time, all the essential chord notes like in the F sharp, A, and D. But if you play like a normal chord in the deep regions, it sounds like a stone falling in the water. It's like, yeah, I can kind of tell it's D major, D minor, I don't know what's going on. So if you omit the in between note, well, very nice. You have the D, but only the D. D minor, D major, don't know. So you just add a power chord, basically adding a sixth. Sounds nice, but it's completely neutral. It can either be what's it called, major or minor. But this works if your right hand is already playing the F sharp, for example. But the best solution is really if you play, there it is. It has bass, and it has all the essential notes to make a very nice D major. And that's why I'm using 10th most of the time, because it's possible to make one one bombastic chord at once. So I don't need to do this, or I don't need to just hand with one hand only. So, but occasionally it's fine if you do these those clusters. If you really want to deliberately bring a clustered sound in your piano. But as Ishtar said, the sound on acoustic piano and electro piano is kind of different, especially in the lower regions, really, because a grand piano is massive sound. So you have to be careful. Yeah, actually, good note. I did notice that chord, by the way, Ishtar. Good point.
Yeah, he did also A major, but I think it's still okay. Actually, it might be also a bit messy to have A major. It might be too messy still. But yeah, just do tenths. See, A major.
I'm not being evil now.
Let's just flex. I apologize. It's just only for comedy. The flex.
Yeah. In my opinion, I mean, if you don't want to play 10th, you can stick to the power chords. It works. It also works. Basically, an octave with a fifth, and you can play this in a super low region. It still sounds okay. Okay. Any specific questions?
Yeah. So at the original song, I think this part goes like this. Hold on.
Are they?
Hmm?
Oh, sorry,
it's too low. It's too low.
we can't hear you. It's impossible to hear.
I think he's playing.
Uh,
We can't hear the piano. Oh,
oh, now we can hear.
So the left hand only like the chord progression are only like doing that, and so how do you like improvise that and put more variations into it?
Pardon me for interjection, but was that a guitar?
oh no, I think it's piano.
Oh, I thought for me it's okay. I thought it's a guitar. Okay. Honestly, I think this doesn't need. I really like this pattern because you use it only once, if I recall correctly, and it gives a massive, powerful image. You're playing the pattern different in the second verse, right? In the second chord, right? If I remember correctly. So I really think this is one of your greatest ideas. Just stick to it. Maybe do a little bit more syncopation. And so on and so on. Might be a good idea. But I wouldn't change the pattern because it's very, very powerful and it serves its purpose very well. What do you think, Ishtar?
I think so too. And it's like you can really build up the dynamics to have a musical line that a bit bigger. To really have that feeling of getting bigger and getting stronger. So I think you can really take advantage of this repeating style. People might say, "Oh, it's repetitive," but no, it's the way you can play it, especially if you can control the dynamic kind of how would you call it, the musical line.
What's this again? It's called a period phrase, right? I mean a phrase.
Yeah, the phrase. Yeah,
Phrasierung in German.
If you can control the phrase to have it like in level, so you can really take advantage of that. So I like that style as well as I agree with Animenz. So yeah,
Okay.
very much.
I guess that's all from me. I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
So for Smuvie. So since we have a little bit of time, Animenz, for us observers, what can we learn from this arrangement?
Okay, first of all, if you look at this arrangement structure, the implementation of the, I have to say, by the way, as disclaimer, not every music has these obvious, let's say, secondary voices. I mean, some pieces are, I mean, we're lucky that this song, especially this song, has this pattern, and he included it very prominently in the beginning. So I would say what we can learn from his arrangement is trying to find the correct timing to include these so-called, I call this the main motifs, in the song very nicely. It gives a very nice flow. And plus his variations between each verse. Each verse is different, has different left-hand accompaniment and the chorus as well. So it's very, very well made, the variations. And the small differences he's putting in. That's what we can learn from his arrangement.
And what about you, Ishtar?
I think, well, at least from what I've heard, is that I've learned that, well, we can learn that silence is very powerful, and especially when used correctly. So that the silence after the bridge and before the ultimate climax is very effective because of the dynamic contrast. So I think, for me at least, that's the best thing to learn in this arrangement, the use of silence.
Okay, thank you to both Animenz and Ishtar for the advice and the discussion, and thank you Smuvie as well for your submission. Do you have any last thing to say?
I guess not.
Thank you so much for your submission, Smuvie. Okay,
Yeah.
then
Excellent arrangement,
then-
very excellent arrangement.
okay, then we will move on to our next mentees, which is Wisnu. Wisnu, it's your turn.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So, okay,
Oh gosh, I'm nervous.
don't worry, man. Okay, before we start, let's watch your typing of through. So, Andy, onegaishimasu.
This is impressive. Sorry, I just need to say.
Okay, here we go.
Textures. Lovely.
I can't imagine the sound. I like the spatial. Here we go. Oof, many sextuplets. Ooh. Yeah, here we go. Three-hand technique.
Yeah.
Best, to be honest. I like the idea. Sparkling sounds like a clear night sky. I like the dun 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 middle range. Clearly audible. I never thought changing the harmony to a C minor would sound so good, actually. You notice, right, Ishtar? The first chord was different than original.
Yeah.
Feels much more dramatic. I like how he repeated it and nice, the harmony progression. That's totally something I would do, man. Very nice time for the break.
Breathe, yeah, breather.
So ne, so ne kanji. I like the riff and bass. Every movement has its meaning. Dun, 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 dun. So none of the notes are wasted. That's really amazing. Here we go, the bass. Oof, wow, that's nice. Wow, double pitch. That's really one of the coolest things ever. The small addition of the additional harmonics for the last outro part. The E flat major.
This is how we feel waiting for third season. Heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking, yeah. Oh.
Right. It's still anti minor.
Oh. That's a bravo for me, dude.
10 out of 10. Really.
Wow.
That's a bravo.
Amazing. Everything fits so well. So what I absolutely love about this arrangement is all the small changes, modifications, original parts. They fit so well and further enhances the piece so well. Especially the last part. Yeah, it feels like Chopin, right? Especially this part. I think it's somewhere from Chopin by that, right?
Oh yeah, the ending chords. Yeah, it's from the fourth ballad.
Yeah, I knew it's kind of familiar.
It's from the fourth ballad.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw your
this part.
recital video on Bilibili. Very cool.
Oh, you saw my recital. Sorry, I did my best back then. I should have done better, but okay. Thanks anyway for watching. Okay. So going back to Time no Tutu. I don't know what to say. This is actually better than mine, to be honest.
Oh my god! Oh god! He said it.
Well, what do you see? What do you say, Ishtar?
Ever since it was submitted, I've watched it maybe like 10, 15 times. I just love every single thing about this arrangement. Okay, you start off with texture, just the opening chords, right? It's just you let the notes ring. It's not like force. You just let it sound out. Your timing is really great. The phrasing is really great. There's breathing, right? Dun 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 dun. It's not rushing. And when you're like playing something like there's heaviness in your play. Like it sounds painful. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
The timing and the weight of the first beat. It's just, to me, I really love it.
I'm very happy that the message actually really comes to you, because this interpretation, it's supposed to be very painful. I don't know why. It's supposed to sound painful. And initially, actually, I want to make this in a very slow tempo, like in this. But then I got nervous and I speed up.
Yeah, I like the different chords in the middle. I like the three hand kind of on the second verse, correct?
Yeah.
I really like the fortissimo. I feel like it's not harsh. It's deep fortissimo. It's all of the notes are on the same level. Sometimes when I do fortissimo, it's almost, yes, it's loud, but it's not powerful. Yours is powerful. I really respect that kind of fortissimo technique.
I think it's a little bit of how to approach it, right? Attacking the keys.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
drum, drum.
Yeah. The sound is even.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ending from the fourth ballad, also so painful. I can feel it. And that's, I think,
Season 3 rip.
yeah, exactly. Where's season 3? I can feel the pain. You manage to know how to play it in such a way that the audience would understand what the music is saying, and I really respect that kind of skill. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We both like it.
We both are like speechlessly amazed, basically.
Yeah.
And the thing I really like the most about the arrangement is your idea of the so-called epilogue, because the original song ends like kind of open.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a subdominant, right? Yeah, it's a subdominant of E flat minor. And I mean, I did a similar thing to my here arrangement.
Oh yeah, I'm playing that too.
Yeah, so kind of this is what it's supposed to end it, and then I just kind of continued it.
Yeah, Your hair arrangement is actually what inspires me to do that coda.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
It seems
so
familiar.
actually, I have to say that both of you really inspires me in this arrangement. The arpeggio left hand, I really feel it from TheIshter, from TheIshter. Yeah, and then the last one, that bell motifs, I think is present in your arrangement to Animenz, and then the coda just from your ear. So both of you are really present in this arrangement.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I like it.
I can literally hear all the orchestra and all the instruments in your arrangement. I can completely imagine how.
When I was working on this arrangement, I was actually simultaneously working on the orchestra version of this. So when I'm in the middle of working on the orchestra, that can be implemented on the piano, maybe.
And
Yeah.
I think. Sorry.
No. Please, you first.
Okay. I think thinking about the piano as an orchestra is very powerful. Then you can really arrange in such a way that has many layers. And yeah, I think if we're gonna learn anything from this arrangement is that the piano is like a blank slate, and if you think about it as an orchestra, then
Yeah, I agree.
What about you, Animenz?
Yeah, I am using the orchestration method approach since, let's see, 2017, I guess, and it does help a lot to utilize to make the full potential of the piano. I mean, recently there's been a comment on YouTube. I don't know if it's from Two-Set Violin or not. They said, "I paid for all keys, I use all keys." Yeah, kind of like this approach. I'm doing this in real life. I'm trying to see, if I play melody here and here. For me, it's more than just a little bit octave higher. For me, it's a completely different atmosphere. So I'm utilizing all kind of textures and everything to make it better, because I have an exact imagination how it would sound like if I would orchestrate my own piano arrangement. And yeah, I would. It's fantastic. You have this orchestra approach, because with this tool or with this mindset, you can make absolutely multi-layer, differentiated, and I think just powerful arrangements. Powerful, I think. It's just really powerful. The whole build-up and the tension, the release, everything will make sense once you notice what makes orchestral music, especially classical orchestral music, so great. Once you realize what makes it so great, and you implement on your own piano arrangements, you are also going to become this piece is also going to become a great piece.
Okay, thank you for both. And believe it or not, Animenz, despite this video already been such an amazing performance, Wisnu still think that he might have done a little bit better. So the question that he has is regarding recording and dealing with nerves. So I'll let Wisnu ask your question.
So my main concern or my main issue is I always get nervous in front of camera, and somehow I can feel more relaxed when I perform in front of hundreds of thousands of audience. Even in a competition, I can play very relaxed and I can play better. But when there is a camera in front of me, I'm gone. There you go. So
There's
how do you deal with nervousness in front of camera? Because I still think that you two play very beautiful in front of camera. Like me, I play better in a live concert, but in front of camera, I'm shit.
I usually do this approach. So if someone's available, I will usually just ask anyone. For example, if my parents just happen to be near me, I will say, "Hey, mom, I wanna hear a little bit," and just a simple people being present makes a complete difference. So first step is maybe just ask a friend or your family or anyone, "Hey, can you let me 10 minutes? I want to play you something." They don't even need to be into anime. Just listen to your playing, and this psychological awareness alone can vastly improve your take, because you're playing not for yourself anymore. You're playing for someone else and for yourself, and this makes a whole lot of difference. That's what I feel. But of course, you can't always get that person next to you. So what I do is just let the camera run indefinitely, but after a while I just forget about it, and I just sit down and just make a whole take again from start to finish, then take a break, improvise a little bit, and make a whole take again. Try to see how it works. Eventually, you will forget about the camera. Do not always go to camera, press on and off, because this will distract you. And this will make you feel like, this is my 13th take. Why can't I do this? No, just let the camera run indefinitely. And just play the whole piece from start to finish. Then review where you screwed up a little bit. Practice these parts again, especially the part where you think, the transition here is kind of difficult. And then try to play from start to finish again. And let the camera just run. That's my point. How about you, Ishtar? How do you deal with it? Bitteschön.
So for me, it's okay. So you said nervousness, right?
Yeah.
It's basically. I think the difference between nervousness and excitement, I think they're the same emotion. There's one big difference. Nervousness is when you fear something before, like you're scared of something, right? Excitement is when you're looking forward to something positive. So my best videos, I have that energy, but instead of nervous, I was excited to record it. I was excited to upload it. I was looking forward for the comments, for people to actually see my arrangement. I had the feeling with Silhouette. I have the exact feeling with also Glassy Sky. Is that the energy is there, but instead of being nervous, am I going to make a mistake? It's wait until you watch this video. So I think the difference in that perspective is very useful for me. You might be able to use it as well. So I hope that helps.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah,
actually,
no problem.
Ishtar made an excellent point. The difference between excitement and nervousness. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
So, as Ishtar said, it's the excitement factor is here. Once you're excited, basically, if you're in front of an audience, the performance is different. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a switch in us turning on the switch, right? It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So all you can do is maybe imagine, for example, if I cannot manage to take a one clean take, I just practice a little bit, I just forget about it, and try the next day. After a night's sleep, you're excited to try it out again. More like instead of being a drag, I have to play this again, I have to record again. No, it's going to be, I find I get the chance to do it again. So this might help. If one day doesn't work out, just skip. Do the next day. You won't get better. Trust me.
So basically, change the thoughts into more positive thoughts, right? So instead of
That's
I
correct.
have to do this again, instead, now I can correct my mistakes. Is that what you mean?
Yes, indeed. It's perspective, definitely.
Perspective and pause and a break. Sometimes our brain just needs a pause.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah.
And a good night's sleep can do wonders for you to completely reset your mindset, and then having a new approach to the piece. Like, okay, I've practiced so much, I actually know how it goes. Today's a new day. Let's try it again. Stuff like this.
Reset. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah.
Okay, thank you to Animenz and Ishtar for answering the question about it. I feel like this question has been in many people's mind regarding nervousness in front of the camera. So thank you for the answer, and thank you Wisnu as well for your submission. That was amazing. Any last word you would like to say, Wisnu?
Well, nothing other than thank you very much, and I'll keep supporting you guys for the
Thank you
video.
so much.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much for showing us your arrangement.
Thanks.
Damn, I still have much to learn, right, Ishtar? I still have so much to learn. I feel like a beginner now.
Oh gosh, no.
I guess I have to
Okay.
make more use of texture in my next arrangements, I guess.
That's really great. We'll be teaching and learning from each other. Thank you so much for the three of you. So now we'll be moving to the next mentee, which is Vanessa. Vanessa, it's your turn.
Hey,
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
It's literally hey, and then stop.
I am so nervous.
No need to. We're just normal people.
Yeah, behind the lens, we are still completely normal people who also occasionally just, having some fun on Discord. And
Mhm. All right. So what are you playing? Or what's the video? Last
Stardust.
Stardust.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
looking forward to it.
Let's take a look.
Okay. じゃあ、アンディさんお願いします。おう。Oh, the pause.
Mm. Nice.
Oh. Oh, it's a B7 chord ending. I see. So,
Nice.
open chapter. Nice.
Okay, I gotta say, love the bass.
The bass, man. The bass.
Yeah.
Okay, you first, Ishter.
Actually, yeah, I was gonna ask you what are your thoughts?
I really like the two extremes of the high regions here. Wait, what's the original pattern again? This one, right? Yeah, and then the poof. So because of all these jumps, it feels like the bass is always present, but yet it never feels cluttered, right? Because you have the there's a risky jump, but because of this technique, the whole song seems like vibrating, like literally vibing with bass. I mean, if you wouldn't have all these jumps, it would sound like you have no idea what's going on anymore. So, yeah, actually, very, very, very well Differenzierung. Sorry for German. Differentiation of the high notes and then bass notes. And okay, after Ishtar, what about you, Ishtar?
Yeah, I really love the jumps. As you know, I really incorporate a lot of bass jumps, so I really like that quality. Also, I like the differentiation between, especially, I think it's the bridge between the two verses, like after the first chorus is, or maybe it's in the middle, but there's what do you call it? Accompaniment. And then there's a high melody, and it's separated pretty well. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the arrangement. So yeah, those are my comments.
Okay, do you have any questions?
Thank
If
you
not,
so
I would
much.
give you some feedback how to further improve it, if there's specific questions regarding this. If you don't, by the way, if you don't feel comfortable with English, ich kann auch Deutsch. Deutsch ist auch kein Problem. I will translate afterwards anyway. So if you feel more comfortable with German, I'll gladly answer you in German and then translate for everyone in English. That's possible.
Thank you.
So have any questions? Like specifically regarding this piece?
I really struggle with tension in my left hand because I really have a bad habit and I use the 1-2-4 fingering instead of the 1-3-5 fingering. And yeah, so what would you recommend me to do to change that to reduce tension while playing?
Left hand?
Yes.
Which part? You mean scales or
Octaves, I think.
octaves?
Yes,
Wait,
or
octaves with 1, 3?
arpeggios.
Arpeggios.
No, accords, Akkorde.
You mean this?
Yes.
I mean, wait, there's only one way to play them, right? 5, 3, 2, 1, usually. Or mix between 5, 3, 2, 1, and sometimes, depends on which key, let's see. Yeah, for example, C major, I would 1, 4, 2, 1 would also be.
No, I mean a normal chord, 1, 3, 5.
Oh, you mean triads, simple triads.
Yeah.
Which finger do
Sorry,
you
I
use?
don't know much about theory. I use 1-4.
1, 2, 1, 2. Well, it's not bad, honestly. It's not wrong. It works.
But my pinky is always flying around and can
You've got
really hurt.
the racing pinky syndrome, right? Basically, you're using
Yes.
4 to 1 and your pinky is racing. I see this is very common in piano students.
Yeah.
How to combat this? Indeed, I've been wondering a very long time how to combat this because I used to do this a lot in the past. The thing is, it's not really. I think you're tensioning a little bit about this way because the reason is the
Yes.
pinky and the ring finger, they are connected by the almost same Sehne, muscle. Sehne. Die sind beide verbunden in der Sehne. So basically, whenever your pinky is raising, or no, whenever your ring finger is raising, you involuntarily raise your pinky finger as well. Because they're just too much connected with your muscles. And per se, it's not that bad because it's only a natural reaction for your pinky to raise if you're actively using your ring finger. But until the point where it hurts, this is actually kind of troublesome. So we have to combat this. Did you have this issue in the past?
I don't think I did. I mean, I used 1 and 4 for octaves, but I didn't have any problems with it. So no, I'm not familiar.
Okay. I think a good way is actually try to force yourself to play a little bit the triads with 5 after all. Your pinky finger will get used to always be in that state, in the curve state, in the slightly laying on the piano state. So try to play triads with focus, or try to play the triads deliberately with 1, 3, and 5 instead of 1, 2, 4.
Mm-hmm.
This might help you a little bit to let your pinky finger to get used to not raise up. This might be one solution. How did I combat this in the past? I think I did the same. My teacher forced me, instead of playing try with 1, 2, 4, he told me, no, please try with 1, 3, 5 all the time. And I got used to it. And occasionally, he also told me to play the chord triads with 2, 3, 5 as well. So your thumb is free. These fingers, your other 4 fingers, they are being focused. This might actually help a lot to combat this flying pinky syndrome. Especially if it's Ishter?
Oh no, that was CSM, I think.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, Vanessa, try to play use all kind of combinations for triads first, even if it doesn't feel comfortable at first. I mean, you can also try 1, 3, 5. As long as you always use the pinky in different combinations, the pinky finger will get used to being in a natural relaxed bend state. Or another training I used to do in the past is the pinky training. So you play a triad with 1, 2, and 4, and then your pinky is doing this. Try it out. So basically, your 1, 3, 4 is pressing a D major chord, and your pinky finger alone is deliberately playing the C. You're literally just using your pinky finger. And then do the other way around. You press down the pinky with C, the ring finger with the tiger finger with the F sharp, and the thumb with the A, and then your ring finger is playing the D. You are basically training the so-called independency of your fingers, because these two are notoriously known for being stuck. Or you can do trills. You play 1, basically with your you play these 2 with your thumb and your index finger, and you're playing a trill literally with your pinky and your ring finger. Try to play in a way it does not tension too much. The best way is, of course, to play staccato. Always start with staccato first, because in legato we tend to put too much pressure in our tendons, and then we get easily injured. So always start with staccato. Tuck, 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 impulses. Tuck, 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 while pressing these 2 with your thumb and your ring finger. There are many methods to train these fingers. I did a lot of them in the past, and at the end, I realized what worked for me is always try with staccato first, tuck, 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 and then try to combine them. This is not a real legato, because the moment the finger is pressing the next key, the other finger is lifting. So there's never 2 notes at the same time. I play these notes, by the way, with my pinky and my ring finger. So you don't hear stuff like this being cluttered. So I call this almost borderline legato. Deliberately releasing one finger when the other is going down. And with this method, you will slowly train the floating pinky to slightly be more independent instead of always kind of being stuck with your ring finger. That's my solution for your problem. I hope it helps, and you can try it out later. So either this, the trills, or everything's pressed down and just play with the pinky, the C note. Find out later and see how it works.
Thank you.
Advice. Okay, Ishtar. Since you didn't have this issue, right?
No, I didn't.
Uh,
So yeah, regarding this, I don't have much comment now. I did. Are you also willing to? I do have one suggestion, if it's okay with you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Um, I like the bass, obviously, but I think you might want to save the really powerful bass for the final chorus. If you do it in the intro, if you do it on the first chorus, if you do a second chorus, and then the final chorus, it's almost loses a bit of that power.
Mhm.
So I do the same thing with my Glassy Sky, right? The first the first chorus is so it's not as powerful, but the final chorus is when you let loose, like a final boss, or like a final fight in Dragon Ball Z or something. Now you let it out. That's where you let it unleash, basically. Um, but yeah, if you do the final move at the beginning, it might not be as powerful in the final chorus. So um, that's only my opinion, of course. But maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. It's up to you. But yeah, that's my opinion.
No, I agree.
Yeah, surprisingly, I also wanted to point out a little bit again about your last starters. Basically, save the super bass regions for the best, or for parts where you really want to emphasize. And there's always a risk of overusing something. And let's say, what reduce, for example, 50% of the time when the super bass is playing, just play the normal bass in, let's say, this region, and only use the super bass for a specific part, like the chorus or the final repeat of the final chorus, and so on, to give a little bit more contrast in your arrangement. And because arrangement is never stale. If arrangement is stale, means you always stay in one spot, and there's no tension, there's no release, there's no build-up of any tension. That's stale. So in order to avoid this, as mentioned earlier, just use texture. Texture means either arpeggios, or you're playing lower scales, or you use more staccato, or you use more dynamics, you use less bass. You don't use any the middle region at all, or you use only the middle region. It can be everything.
My problem is that I can't play arpeggios with my left hand because it's not strong enough, and I always play with flat hands, and so I'm not that creative in my left hand.
But okay, but the left hand, it doesn't need to be arpeggios, honestly. It's more than enough if you shift the bass jumps to one octave higher. So I don't think you need any arpeggios in this for last starters especially. Or does it work? It can work, but I personally would just focus, reduce a little bit the bass notes, and try to play a little bit more, let's say, rhythms, I guess. Rhythms in the left hand, like the. So it doesn't need to be arpeggios. Just play a little bit with a tum taka tum tum taka tum. The best method is to stay within one octave and just play with. Or So a range where you feel comfortable to experiment a little bit. And after you decide a basic pattern, you can slowly expand it into 2 octaves. That's how I come up with most of the patterns anyway. Starting within 1 octave. And then just expand it on 2 octaves later on. Does it help?
One question. Do you drive quickly on the autobahn?
Wait, that's unrelated, man.
I apologize. I'm just joking.
This guy, I swear to God, this guy.
But yeah,
Okay.
hopefully the advice helps.
Okay, thank you for both Animenz and Ishtar. So for Vanessa, we learned about the pinky training to separate the flying pinky syndrome, as well as the the emphasis on the bass to put it in the right time to create a maximum effect. Vanessa, do you have anything else to say before wrapping up?
You can also say in German, by the way.
Thank you so much for your time and for your help, and yeah, Dankeschön to Animenz.
Bitteschön, bitteschön.
Okay, thank you so much, Vanessa, for your submission.
Thank
Now
you.
we will move on. Now we will
Thanks.
move on to the final mentee, which is Kit Kat. It's your turn.
Hello.
Yeah,
okay.
very, very clearly. I paid for the whole speedometer. Sorry, I will use the whole speedometer.
So I apologize. Yeah. How are you? Oh yeah, no problem. I heard you were nervous the whole time because you were last. No problem. No problem.
All right. In order to relieve the nervousness, let's first watch your performance. For Charlotte, falling, right? Okay. じゃあ、アンジェさんお願いします。You know what, Ishtar? I rarely see those reverse CTs here, where the notes are
Going up, right?
yeah, going up. Oh, here we go. Oh, nice texture.
Very nice.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
You wrote the beginning inspired by Navarro Boom, right? Yeah, I was actually wait. This sounds like Navarro Boom first, and then I saw your text. Oh, inspired by Navarro Boom. Basically, what makes Navarro Boom? He loves this region. He usually stick to this region and just make some very wonderful mix of scales and arpeggios and very unique, in a very unique way. And but first of all, yeah, Ishtar, what do you think about it?
I really like it. And same. I think I had the same impression. There's a lot of like, let's say, what do you call not accompaniment, but harmonies when you were playing. So I really like that.
I mean, the original song is a guitar song, right? Very light guitar, acoustic guitar song. Reminds me a little bit of Chiba no Takaramono, to be honest. Also guitar song, also key anime, and
right.
Yeah. The thing I like the most about your arrangement is really the almost you are literally floating on clouds. The very light texture, everything here. This feeling. Stuff like this is for me complete fan service. I don't know how to improve it further, to be honest. I really like how it's the flow of the song, and then how you finally included the bass in the chorus, where everyone was waiting for. So if I have Oh. Do you have any specific? Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, the chorus was very satisfying to watch or to listen. In this case. Your feedback, Ishtar?
So I think for the chorus, it's pretty, it's nice and meaty, but I do recommend trying to make the phrases longer. Kind of, I want. What key is it on? I didn't...
It's G sharp minor. That's the chord progression.
Yeah. So during the chorus, it's more like if you could, if the phrasing was a bit longer, then you can really make it flow. So. I think that would make for a more lyrical but also powerful chorus. Because I think I've seen that, I can relate to that because I also did the same thing when I, especially when I began piano. It's I tend to like that. I tend to do that a lot as well. But if you lengthen the phrase, then it becomes much more powerful, in my opinion, of course. So yeah.
まあ、さすがね。These rubato advices can only sound by because I admit I play quite strictly to metronome, and I cannot do the rubato for some reason, or at least not as good as Ishtar is doing it. So for me, it's always a mystery how Ishtar can manage to make such a natural sounding rubato. Maybe I'm not vibing it. I don't know.
Well, no, I think it's just different styles. Animenz is, I can't play Unravel. I can't. It's just I don't have the skill. But I think maybe Animenz would also have maybe slightly difficult with Glassy Sky.
Yeah, I can never play this like you. Never. I was like, how long should I hold this note? Maybe a little bit longer? Wait, that's too long. How can I play like Ishtar? Yeah, I'll completely give up, honestly.
So yeah, just different styles, I think.
But Ishtar does have a point. If you make these, whenever the music gets broad, majestic, and basically when the bass is entering, you can take your time to make the melody phrases a little bit more. You can stretch them. In German, there's a famous word. It's called geknetete Musik, which means you take the music like dough, bread dough, and then you just work on it, and you can shape it, stretch it, and eventually make a perfectly nice round shape. Yeah, it's flexible. Music is flexible. It's not strictly by restricted by metronome, but it doesn't mean you should practice with a metronome at the beginning. You should still practice with the metronome at the beginning. But once you got the basic tempo down, you can work a little bit on freedom here or freedom here, a little bit longer this note, and so on and so on. It really depends on individual artists, to be honest.
Okay. So thank you for Animenz and TheIshter for your advice regarding this. So what we have learned from KitKat is that the middle regions, like similar to Never Run Boo, like the middle regions can really be explored to make it sound wonderful. Also, we learned about the phrasing and the rubato. The interesting things about style, both of you, is that KitKat actually have a question about how to improve things further in the future, and his question is about implementing scales and arpeggios in an arrangement. So, KitKat, you can ask your question.
Wait. Okay. Everyone, please pay attention to CSM. I think everyone is kind of typing in the chat's kind of exploding. So, one more time, CSM. Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm just like summarize what we have learned from KitKat's arrangement, which is to explore the middle regions, because like these regions can really sound wonderful. The other one is about phrasing and rubato. So the question is like, moving forward, how can we improve and implement things differently? So the question that KitKat asks in his application is, I really want to learn how to implement scales and arpeggios on an arrangement. So I'll let KitKat elaborate on this.
Arpeggios and KitKat. Wait. So you're asking KitKat or asking us?
No, KitKat is asking this question in his application.
The application question. Okay.
Yes.
I usually use arpeggios as a, let's say, filler. So whenever I notice hold for a long time, I try to fill in the gaps with arpeggios. But I don't do this very often anymore because it's been, in my arrangements, a little bit overused in the past. So I'm looking for alternatives. But it works. Actually, it works. What's a good song, for example? Do you know any song with very long notes where we can fill up the gaps?
Glassy Sky.
Jesus. Anything else about Glassy Sky?
I'm not. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Oh, okay. Let's make BIOS then from 30 Crown. So BIOS is. Or maybe this part. So it's very, very slow melody. Da, 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 da. You have a lot of space in between these each note. So you can either fill arpeggios in the higher regions or the down regions. So either or the opposite. And it really depends, actually, how much of a sound you want to achieve. Let's see. If I want to play completely, if I want to reach a complete full Toti orchestra, I just use complete arpeggios from up to down. So. For complete absolute maximum intensity and maximum clustering of the piano. And if I use the very elegant or light, let's say airy atmosphere, I just use scales, I guess. So it really depends what you want to achieve in your song. Want a massive sound? Just say arpeggios from start to finish, but be careful of bass notes. So I would not, as mentioned earlier, everything in this region, you better stick to just the bass note only. The higher you go, the more in-between notes or scales you can use. So a completely satisfying C minor chord from very bass to very top would sound. But you notice the bass is only just a C. Does this answer your question? So the methods when to how much arpeggio you should use for in between notes, and when you use scales. Scales usually works the best in the higher regions, by the way. So if you use scales here, it can be a little bit too distracting, in my opinion. But if you arrange structured well, it works. But most of the time, I use scales only in these regions only. And for the bass, I just use arpeggio. Okay, does it help the question? Okay. Glad to hear. Jeff, any questions left?
Interesting about scales elements. I think this is a question that quite many people has been asking. How do you construct right hand runs based on scales? I think that's the question that many people, many newcomers especially, have been asking. Oh, how does Animenz do this, perform this magic, right hand magics and stuff like that?
I would like to know as well.
Yeah, if you please elaborate for us.
All right then. In this case, I'm going to demonstrate, show you a small snippet of what I've been working recently, and it's a spoiler, so it's going to be my next week's upload. So, okay, I wrote a short passage of the. It's going to be Sincerely, by the way, by the Evergarden. So I just show a small snippet of how my Sincerely looks like, and I've been working a little bit on the three-hand technique again. So here's a snippet of it. It's exclusively here. Only in this masterclass available. Here it is. Oops, for the D. Why did I write a D? Okay, so what's happening here? It's basically, I'm playing the melody. But this melody here is completely shifted to the left hand. This is the second verse, by the way. So what's happening is the left hand plays. So I try to, whenever constructing these three-hand techniques, I try to make it so that left hand can play almost everything except the first note. Because the first note usually has the biggest distance. The left has to go down to the bass, and then I still have to play the F. Because I can't play this, what's this, 13th with one hand. It's just impossible. Maybe rough line is good, but therefore I try to design the right hand to be a little bit, to reach down in time. So this can be played. I try to avoid these high, super fast jumps, but to try to include it naturally. So the right hand would be. Sorry. I haven't practiced it yet. So basically, this is how it goes. And combine it everything pretty slowly so you can guys understand. So how do I come up with this kind of structure? First of all, I always take consideration of the bass rhythm of the song. So sensory rhythm is very specific it's always basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta 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 pause, pause, ta 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 pause, pause. This pause is very, very, very one of the biggest traits of the entire song. So what I'm doing here is this entire run is based on scale. On one scale, just that's it. That's all the material you have. D major. So I have to decide where does the melody come from first. So do I start from the entire run started actually like this. I was imagining, okay, I'm going to use a scale going up and down somehow. Now, the secret is, where are the so-called tipping points? Tipping points are basically when the run is shifting its direction. Instead of going up, it's going down. So the turning point of every run, and they are usually coinciding within the third or the fourth beat. So scale up and so only the final part is basically split da 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 da. And I just fit in between. And that's actually basically it. Theory is always the same. I stick to these notes, decide from where I'm going, down and then up again, and then like this. And I try to connect each other with my notation software and see which note fit. For example, I plan somehow from this note I need to reach a C sharp at exactly the third beat. But if I would play normal scale, I can't reach it because if I play normal scale, I would reach a G. So I'm basically trying to see which note I can omit in that run, so I can start from F sharp and reach a C sharp at exactly that timing. So okay, I decide, okay, I omit the G. But if I omit the G, I realize, I'm too far, too early. So I just omitted the G at the beginning. And then I only here realize, okay, so only if I omit the here, the C and the C here, it fits perfectly. Perfect. I usually leave out these so-called redundant notes at the end of the scale or at the beginning of the running scale. So because you suddenly have a clear. It's also be more natural than if, let's say, I leave out. It also works. It's just a matter of preference for me. It actually, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But point being is, somehow I need to reach this thing in exactly this timing, and by using a scale. And of course, not all scales are perfect, so I have to either add a little bit more notes or reduce notes. Usually, it's actually the opposite, that reducing. And I just this part is kind of I was highlighting these notes. These are the core notes, so these are fixed. They don't change, whatever, ever. So I can do either the the key is you play around these fixed notes, or the other way, and then connect it. And I just did the combination of up and then up, down. But the notes are still the same. I still use the exact same material. And if you combine everything, there's a general direction where it goes. So I want this part to direction going a little bit to downward. So, but at this point, I want to connect this part to the next part in bar 4. It's basically I want to connect this part somehow. So I just, in the last bit, I decide to direct it, change direction instead of downwards, upwards again in bar 3. So instead of I just going up again. Because this connects nice to the next part. And that's how I usually approach. First decide where you're going, which direction. Up and down, up and down. Where are the turning points? So I want emphasis on the tuck, tuck, tuck. So on each beat I want to emphasize. So and the emphasized notes, they must correlate a little with the harmonic. So this was my first draft. Then connect it. I can also anything goes, but I just decided to have a more simple approach. And that's it, actually. That's the whole thing, thinking process behind my runs. The materials are completely normal scale notes, but you decide which direction you go, decide when the timings of the notes are important. Once you have those so-called fixed notes, like you don't change these, but try to connect them each somehow. And so on and so on. And that's the whole method I'm doing it. I hope it helps people here.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much, man. So
Honestly,
that was real clear.
That's
Go ahead,
pretty
TheIshter.
impressive. Yeah, I think even I learned a lot from that one. Quite impressive, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
So like, so basically to like try to like summarize, basically like Animenz, like first you like kind of have like a goal in mind already, like which note to hit in each rhythms, right? And then you try to like find a way to connect between each goals, quote unquote.
Yeah, connecting is the key to connecting. The timings are absolutely the most vital part. I decided early on 1, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. These notes are completely fixed. They are not going to be changed ever. And the rest is just filling up the timing. That's all. And don't forget, guys, scales is not one direction. You can go. Those repeats, they are very, very common in classical music as well. I mean, even more advanced. I mean, I can also show you. This one is literally. It's nothing else but. I don't know what this scale is called in English, but it's Jüdisch. It's basically a very, very a relative of a minor scale. So he's also only he's using these materials and just change the direction everything. Downwards, just up and then down again. And then down, up again, and jump here. So, and actually that's what Chopin has in his mind. He has a material already. He just decides where I'm jumping up, where I'm jumping down, and try to fit in the rhythm. Chopin, however, has a magic. He's timing the rhythm completely randomly. So it's not like It's a in this one, and that's what makes Chopin's run so exotic, sexy, awesome. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thanks
So
for
basically,
listening
like
to my TED
this.
talk.
Nice, dude. So like basically, like these turning points, quote unquote, is a way to like make the rhythm more pronounced and make it sound like better
Exactly.
than just
Every turning point is basically a rhythmical emphasis, and it's up to you where you time the rhythm. I usually time the rhythm with my left hand because otherwise it's too complicated to understand, in my opinion.
Wow, that was
So
a very.
I get the second part again. So he's using that's Lutein, right? This scale, and the only thing he's using is this grace. It's like the so-called repeat. I call this repeat or and then this is quite straightforward. It's just broken arpeggio, and then this part scale down the turning point. Wait, and then small scale, half scale, but he's jumping up again and jumping again. I've participated in ages, but you get the point. Once you decide when to make these turning points, you can make these sounding scales.
Wow, thank you so much, Animenz, for that info. That was really amazing and really, I'm sure everybody likes it. So okay, KitKat, do you still have any questions left? Anything else you would like to say? Okay.
Fingerings. The thing with fingerings, unfortunately, it's literally different to each. It varies by case by case. Some people feel more comfortable with this. Some people can't feel comfortable with this. And honestly, the best finger is literally the one which works for you the best. There's no the fingering, unfortunately. How about you, TheIshter?
Yeah, I would agree with Animenz because there's a lot of different hand sizes, different finger lengths, so fingering is quite personal. I mean, you could look on YouTube to see any general suggestions of fingering, but then again, it's only a general suggestion. It might not work for you still, so you have to find out how to play it. the comments. It's quite personal. Make sure you're comfortable with it. And make sure you're comfortable. Make sure it doesn't hurt your hands. Yeah, that's my suggestion.
All right.
Good question. Good question. That's amazing. Okay.
And good answer as well, Isha. Good answer as well. Okay.
Oh no, it's pinned.
Immortalized forever.
Okay. Okay.
Make sure that is even better.
Now, okay, so thank you so much, KitKat, for your submission and your answers. Now we have go through every single mentee for this event. So now we'll be moving to the observer questions. So,
there it is. Okay, I'm scrolling through them now. Okay, so let's start with the first one then. Tips on
Ad-libbing,
So define ad-libbing. I think ad-libbing means improvisation or adding additional stuff in your arrangements. I'm kind of confused. If you mind Ninja 2007 and 4, could you further, define ad-libbing? I define the ad-libbing as simple improvisation, to be honest. So while we're waiting for Ninja to further define what he means by ad-libbing, let's move on to Mavis' question. When playing chords on right hand, what type of exercise would you recommend to strengthen muscle memory? Okay, muscle memory. Chords on the right hand. Avoiding playing too many chords. I feel when I'm playing chords on the right hand. After pedaling, tendency to forget and keep the pedal down. Basically multitasking. Yeah.
There's like a do you agree with this, Animenz? When you do a chord, the fingers usually go on a specific position, much like a template.
Doing the chord. Yeah. The finger position is always the same. Yeah. Chords.
And I think it's just doing it over and over and to practice that template and make sure the finger goes into the right slots. If you're nervous, just do it over again until you can really put it in muscle memory, how the chord feels and what is the position of the fingers, and then I think that would be my suggestion.
Muscle memory is really, there are no shortcuts, unfortunately, but there are training methods. Let's put it that way. I mean, there are some. For example, I'm quite bad at playing. What scale was it? Oh yeah, I'm really bad at. For some reason, at E flat major, I'm completely bad with playing scales with the left hand. Okay. Not. Which one was it? I was really bad at it. I was surprised how bad I was. Was it A major? Yeah, I think it's A major. Yeah, A major. I'm really having trouble with A major. So, pick up. I'm pretty sure there are some chords which you feel more confident than the others, and pick out the chords where you kinda want to avoid, and make so-called jump exercises. What are jump exercises? So if you want to, let's say, okay, in the triad, the D major triad, if you want to play this, or let's say more difficult one, yeah, E flat major, because it's black keys, white key, black keys. If you want to get this finger position completely memorized, because the middle finger is kind of difficult. It has to play the G, which is exactly stuck between the F sharp and the G sharp. So you have to hit quite precisely. So I will just do the following exercise. I just play the two triads with 1 octave distance and just jump. First, very slowly, and then faster. I'm not hitting nothing. The key here is the most important part of, before you play any chords, your fingers are already hovering above the ready keys already. So once I play this chord, my hands are moving already and waiting for the chord 1 octave distance. So I'm basically preparing every move. That's the key for muscle memory. You prepare this every move. I wish I have a camera here, because I can show you how my hands are already literally hovering above the keys, just waiting for timing to press down. That would be one exercise to strengthen muscle memory. Memorizing where your hands should hover above the keys. I mean, if you're still moving while you're supposed to play the keys, you might have feel, I'm too late, I have to rush. But and then you usually mess up this part. So the more prepared you are for every kind of pattern, the better your muscle memory. That's my theory. I hope it helps a little bit to visualize it. So yeah, my advice to you would be just make these octave jumps. Also in other, not in the Grundstellung, but in the zweite Umkehrung, in the inversion, and this one, and the third inversion. yeah, I feel like for me, this is the most easy one. This feels much easier than because I have to put my thumb on the keys. So yeah, that's my way to train the muscle memory for chords specifically. Jumping. I try all keys.
Oh, by the way, I apologize for not speaking that much. It's 1 a.m. at my place,
Oh.
but this is good. This is good. Animenz is taking over. It's okay. But I do apologize for not speaking too much. Low energy, in other words. Yeah. But
Okay.
I'm also still learning, so it's okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep on going.
I answer Madras' question later because it's only direct to me. But let's answer Raf Ushio's question because both of us can answer. For the people that were now using piano with dynamics, how could we get better control of the sound, like the dynamics? Any tip for dynamic control, basically, and more strength in the left hand?
Actually, I do have a comment on this one. I remember you telling me to use the impulse, and I feel like my dynamics improved a lot when I did the staccato. It's not really staccato because you keep your fingers on the keys, right? But the impulse control where you do this like that. I find that the dynamics are more easily controlled when you do the impulse. For example, if you want to do a really loud dynamic, it's easier to kind of tell how loud you're playing if you do the sudden movement. But for quieter ones, it's quite a different technique. I feel like you need to caress the keys a little bit and feel the bottom of the keys. It's kind of hard to show over audio, but do you want to elaborate on Animenz?
Well, I'm happy the impulse take has actually improved it. I'm really happy to hear that. Because my own piano teacher back then has been teaching me many times how to properly bring the best of your piano. Okay, so just a very short summary. A piano is essentially a percussion instrument. So, I mean, how would you hit the drums? Imagine hitting a drum. And if you hit a drum, you use a stick and then tap it. Then release, right? Immediately, almost immediate release. Tap, you tap, and that's it. And blom. You don't push your drumstick at the drum after you reach the sound by impact. You automatically release it. Point. You use the bouncing basically, and that's what we do on the piano as well. So that's actually already 40. I don't need to do more because if I add pedals, it becomes automatically super loud. And then same with staccato. That's actually very loud already. And if I add the pedal, I do this entirely by doing impulses. The moment your fingers touch the keys, they release immediately all pressure. Do not after press the keys after you have put after you have played the chord already, because it's first of all it doesn't make any difference in the sound anymore. The keys are pressed already. Second, you're wasting your energy and your arms become stiff. So multiple ways many reasons how to avoid so-called after pressing keys.
Also,
the easiest way is to practice. Sorry.
Oh, yeah? just to add on the after press, when you also do that, it feels heavier. The sound is like dragging. It's not pleasant at all. So it does also affect the sound. It makes you more tired. You're more stiff, and it's all bad. Sorry. So that's what I wanted to add.
Okay. Yeah, exactly what Isha said. The correct method is try to imagine you're playing staccato the whole time. The better you can control staccato, the better you can play dynamics. It's that simple. Okay, I hope this answers Lakushio's question.
So, but like to conclude, basically, it's like it's not about the force you put in, but more like the velocity, how
The
fast.
velocity, the speed.
Speed, yeah.
Speed is everything. Speed. Exactly. So that's the reason why you can hear insane sounds from, let's say, thin-looking female pianists. And because they just use the speed to absolutely make massive sound. That's all you need. You don't need to be a complete bodybuilder to play loud on the piano.
No.
You need all account is speed. Okay, moving on the next question. Seal has answered. Okay, Cody the cat. Okay. Question for both Animenz TheIshter. Alex's question. Camera choice for 4K 60 FPS recording. 30 FPS. Well,
60. Those are expensive. Once you go above 4K 30, they get really expensive. Unfortunately.
yeah, I'm surprised you say only do 4K 30 FPS because 4K 30 FPS is actually super high standard already.
Pretty good.
Pretty good actually. I'm kind of a loss of words because I'm sorry I can't answer it because I don't know. I'm not that familiar with cameras. I usually just Google a little bit, pick the one with the highest reviews, and that's it. Yeah, really, seriously. I just read reviews. Most of the cameras, the only thing that differ are the handling. Some cameras are absolutely have notoriously bad menus, and you get frustrated easily. And some cameras, color are a little bit darker or a little bit brighter, but they're all adjustable. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter which camera you buy. It just depends on your wallet and if it's easy to handle or not. That's all. So please read reviews. I can't give you any questions here. Okay, Ninja. The kind. Okay. Elaborating. Ad-libbing. Well, add notes. Okay. Original material. Here we go. You want to elaborate a little bit, Ishta? Original material in your arrangements.
Well, ad lib is like, well, there's different kinds of ad libs, right? Sometimes, but you add the chorus, a quieter chorus at the beginning is maybe that's what he's asking, or it could be the ad lib that maybe jazz people use, like improv in the middle, which is I'm not really that familiar with. Are you familiar with the jazz improv or?
All I know is they're using at least, let's say, 4 different scales which is completely different than the classical music scales I know. Wait, it's not. It's actually just Lydian, Phrygian, and Mixolydian. But I can't play that on a whim, basically. I'm too used to the normal Dorian. I'm just too used to them. So that's the reason why I can't play jazz, really. In order to play jazz, I have to learn all these very exotic. Can you play Lydian scale on D major on the spot? Something like this. Yeah, sounds still weird, but for example, yeah. Okay, additional notes. Difficult. Depends really on the mood. Depends on whether I'm feeling the music can be further improved or not. Okay, thing is, what I usually want to do is whenever a piece is ending on an open chord, I try to bring it to a finish most of the time. Let's say Everlasting Beauty Chrome. It ends with a. It's a nice way to end, but I personally prefer to bring it somewhere to the end. Alternative would be. So at least I have the D major at the end. Somehow, that's what I usually do for my arrangements. Finishing the chord progression, I guess. I usually try to finish them in the so-called is it tonica? English also tonica, right? Tonica. The bass. Okay. Another thing is additions in original parts. Key changes. Whenever key change is happening, I try to make it as natural as possible. But this requires extensive musical theory. You have to know which chord progressions kind of make sense and which chord progressions can connect to each other. So elaborating this here would be too long. But this question is so difficult. How to add? It's like you're asking someone how to make the perfect scrambled egg. There are too many ways to make it perfect.
Yes, it's quite general question, which slightly makes it harder for us to answer. But if it's a bit more specific, like, oh, how do you improvise this certain way on this time, then it might be a better question that we could answer.
Yeah. So, but my general thing I'm doing is basically trying to bring at least chord progressions into the end. That's how I add additional materials, and trying to make a legend solution for key changes most of the time. Okay, moving on. Okay, let's go to KitKat's question, because I don't notate anymore. Here, I'm sorry, I don't notate stuff anymore. So, question for Ishtar: is there any tips for making cinematic piano covers, like say SLS? He likes the vibe.
The vibes.
The vibe.
Vibe check. I think for cinematic, it has to do a lot with rubato and breathing in general. Like if you're playing, for example, well, I keep on coming back to this because I really like my Glassy Sky arrangement, but it involves a lot of breathing in and out as if the melody is being voiced by a singer. It's like for piano, it's easy to play too quickly because, well, it doesn't require breath, right? But if you ask a singer to sing the melody, they need that breath in order to actually project the melody. So, for example, let's see. Sorry, the audio cord. See, at the moment there before the melody comes in, there's a breath. So as if you're looking at the sky, which seems like glassy, and when you do that, you're kind of taking the big breath. I'm not sure how else to explain it, but that makes the sound really expand for some reason. I can't explain it much better than that. It does come very natural to me because I'm not sure why. Maybe of the music I listened to before. Maybe it's experience or the type of music I've played, but I tend to really value the breathing aspect. Even if it's on a fast arpeggio, there's still breathing. The left hand is breathing in and out, like. It's always breathing, and it is, for some reason, it gives it a human quality that I don't sometimes I don't find in some performances. I guess if that makes sense, I hope that would give you some ideas and answer your question. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of understand what you mean. It's basically, I know. Basically, making the music organic, alive. Even the arpeggios, even if arpeggios are kind of firmly timed, you can still make them alive by dum and dum slowly instead of that would be mechanic. So I can kind of imagine what you mean with the with especially with the glasses guy. Dum.
So
Make
it's
them
up and down.
less static. Just means cinematic.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Okay. Now, even though there are still a little bit more questions, but unfortunately, we have running out of time. So, Animenz, TheIshter, thank you so much for your participation. Would you like to have any final words for us newcomers? Anything you would like to say before we end it off?
I would, Animenz, you can say first.
I'm really amazed at the quality of anime piano arrangements. Really, so all 5 examples they are showing the strength of each person, and honestly, I swear to God, compared to let's say music piano cover of other genres, most of the time they are absolutely not even half of what you guys are doing right now because it just feels like a normal cover. But the anime piano cover, especially the community there, I feel like everyone's trying their best to insert their own personality in them, and it's very inspiring, I guess. So I'm really happy that especially anime piano is able to produce so many high quality uh, arrangements from so many people. So a big thank you to everyone who is actively contributing to the anime piano community. Every single video matters.
Okay. Thank you, Animenz. What, TheIshter?
Yeah, I'm quite amazed at how the anime piano community have grown. When I think when Animenz and I have started on YouTube, there's barely any covers. There's been barely anyone who takes anime arranging on piano seriously, but now it's kind of overwhelming. It's the variety of videos, the people who are slowly building up their fan base, gaining, improving their arrangements and gaining viewership. It's quite amazing opportunity in my opinion. I think it makes the anime piano community a bit like more lively. I remember it's for the most part. I see Animenz's video back then. Oh, he's uploading this. I should upload as well. It's kind of like maybe a bit lonely, but also kind of wholesome. But now it's so much activity that I guess it's like I don't even know what's who
It
to
feels like
follow.
it feels like a family is growing, right? At the
Yeah.
beginning, it was just me, you, and occasionally Kyle Landry, but he's still here. And of course, the grandfather of everyone, Josh Agarado.
Oh man.
Yeah, Josh.
The website,
So
man.
one of the best, really.
Yeah.
He was actually one of the main reasons why I started doing my own piano arrangements. 10 years, man, TheIshter, 10 years. And you've been actually earlier than me, right? If I remember correctly.
So my first account was in 2006. TheIshter account that actually got deleted in 2011, so I had to start all over for a second account. And I was like, man, it really sucks that my account got deleted, but I think just I love arranging, so I'll just make another account and start again. So which now is kind of I'm kind of like Animenz, do you remember when you also had trouble uploading back then, right?
In what context?
Like frequency and upload, you didn't have much. Now you have you can upload once a week, but I think like 2 years ago or something, you didn't upload much. I think I'm on the same position. Um,
I
but
understand what you mean. Yeah. Honestly, the thing is, if you don't feel like producing music, you literally cannot force it, unfortunately. And I think every pilot has its time period where he feels like really not doing anything, and it's completely human. All we can do is just wait. Eventually, we'll come back.
I think
Actually, it
so.
always come back.
It always, and you certainly came back very strong, and it's, to me, it's kind of inspiring. Oh, there is hope, and to make good music again, and to feel energetic. So I hope that I think a lot of smaller channels are also inspired by the weekly uploads, and I am as well. I think it's quite impressive actually to upload that good arrangements every week. So I have to say also the work ethic, especially Fonzie is doing. He's uploading maybe twice a week as well. That's impressive. So I think that kind of discipline is very inspiring, and I hope that everyone here also gets inspired by that quality being uploaded on YouTube. I'm certainly trying my best as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. As a representative, quote unquote, of this group, I'm pretty sure I speak out of everybody that you guys' action, both of you, have made an enormous impact on all of us. I'm pretty sure that I can bet that more than 90% of people here started our YouTube channel because we see the legacy that you guys have put in. We see how much emotional your performance is, and we see how much passion you have for this. And that action really is like all your actions from these 10 years. It plants the seed. It plants the seed for all of us. It plants that inspiration to keep moving forward. So I would like to use this chance and I'm pretty sure I speak for everybody, that thank you both of you so much for being such an awesome leaders and the pillar of this community. And thank you so much for spending your time for like 2 hours or more just to talk and try to teach all of us for this. So thank you guys so much for this event.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you guys very much for organizing everything. It went really, really smoothly. Yeah, we did everything actually in the session. Went for all 5 mentees, got to experience very amazing piano covers, and basically everyone is wholesome, and that's great.
Yeah, I agree. Thanks so much for organizing this, and thank you for the submissions. We really enjoyed it, and I hope our advice would help you guys and inspire all of you to become better pianists or whatever you guys are doing. We hope to make a positive impact on all of you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you guys so much, and thank you for everyone who has been participating as well. This has been one very successful event, and we're looking forward to if we're going to maybe we can host more of this in the future. Who knows? But for now, thank you, Animenz and TheIshter, for spending their times, and thank you everyone for your submission. All right, this is the first event for this master mentorship project.
Okay, Oscar, pause.
Goodbye, everybody.
Insert can claps.
We need a sound effect.
Yeah, we need a sound effect. Goodbye, everybody, and thank you so much, everyone who has been participating. Woo!
Yeah!
Oh, yeah! Nice.
I was waiting for that. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope everybody have fun. And I'm sure I have a lot of fun and a lot of info. Very informative. Thanks a lot, guys.
Awesome. Thanks. See you guys around.
Yeah, see you guys around. I'm off then. Bye.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. See you guys.
All right. And that's it, everyone. Have a good night. I'm sure it's quite late for some of you, but thank you everyone for tuning in and make this first event a success. Special thanks to Moody. It was fun.
You guys are coming.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
Moody, for setting everything up.
Yeah, I would like to thank Smuvie for being the originator of this idea. He was the one who came up with this vision to like find a way to like bridge the gaps between the small channel and the big channel. That's pretty much
Dedication.
how. Yeah, such
The
dedication.
dedication
And,
is so much, so admirable.
Is the bridge builder.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. And I also would like to thank every moderators who are participating in this project and all the brainstorming, all the technical check, and all of that. Everything runs very smoothly for this
Yeah,
event.
well done, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys very much. And also, special thanks to CSM, of course, for being such a great host, for making sure everything is so smoothly.
Thank you, CSM.
I thank you. I hope I do an okay job.
He did a great job.
You were really good. Like,
You should become a host as a job.
Yeah.
Okay, time for me to quit college.
possible future job.
Like, I'm an absolute mess when it comes to organization, so I'm glad that I have someone like you around to like keep everything in check, because I feel like if I was doing it myself, it would just fall apart. Thank you.
We got a mad community.
Yeah, this community rocks. This service rocks, guys. Yeah, but thanks Moody as well for allowing me to participate. Like I've been here for 5 years personally, and I always want to see this picture today. Like the pictures of like junior and seniors in this community just come together and teach and learn from each other. This is like one of my dream as like the person who's been here for quite a while. So thank you, Moody. Okay.
Thank you for working with me.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Okay, then I'll be heading off to. I'll be heading off that too because
Don't forget, you guys, to come to CSM's premiere.
Oh yeah, the
21 minutes.
Oh, thanks. Oof. I'm not trying to advertise, by the way.
We are.
I'm gonna advertise for you, man. 21 minutes.
Thanks.
Also, the amazing thumbnails by Louise.
Yeah,
yes.
Luis is like I'm completely bad at art. Like, huge shout out to Luis. This guy's like a god at making thumbnails and art. Check him out, guys.
He needs more. He can open commissions for thumbnails. Actually.
Actually, though.
Actually,
Yeah.
can
Those are just so good.
Yeah, they are.
can literally do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should. Okay, then I'll be locking off, preparing for my
All right.
my own
See you
website.
then.
I hope to
See
see
you
you guys
later.
at the premiere. Take care.
You guys.
See you
Okay.
around.
See you around.
All right then. I'll probably just practice or stuff.